Now, I've been training and teaching calisthenics for over 10 years now. And most people, when they come to me for coaching, they know what they want to achieve. They have goals. So they say, I want to achieve a handstand push-up, I want to achieve a muscle-up, I want to achieve a planche. So they know a few goals that they're working towards, or they have a full list already. But sometimes you get people that don't know what skills to work towards. Or if you're brand new to this style of training, you might not know any of the skills. So today I'm going to go through the main elements, the main movements that are used in calisthenics and handstands. So let's start off with some straight arm strength. Now, straight arm strength basically means we're keeping the arms straight. We don't bend them in any way. And the main two movements are planches and front levers. And the beginner planche position is a tuck planche. So a tuck planche looks like this. We stay in a tight ball, knees at the chest, heels at the butt, and we hold that position. So it's a static skill. And then we have the opposite movement, which is the pulling version, where the planche would be seen as the pushing version. Now, the front lever can be done on bars or rings. And basically we pull up into this position and see how it's exactly the same as the planche. Knees are by the chest, heels are by the butt, and the hips are in line with the shoulders. Now, the cousin of the planche and the front lever is the back lever. Now, for the back lever position, we go through into the opposite side, and then we do exactly the same thing. So it's exactly the same position, being tuck, knees by the chest, heels by the butt, and your hips in line with the shoulders. So we have the back lever, the front lever, and the planche. Then we have dynamic movements that work around those, or you visit those positions as part of the dynamic movement. So we have things like skin the cat. So we'll be starting in this hanging position. You pull yourself up, pass through the inverted position. There's the back lever. Go all the way down to German hang, and then back out. Pass through the front lever, all the way back down. So you pass through the front lever, the back lever, all the way down to that German hang, back through to that start position. So that's called the skin the cat. Next, let's look at the bent arm strength movements. Now, some of these will be more familiar because they're what's seen as more traditional calisthenics type movements or body weight movements, like the push up. So straight body position, coming all the way down, straight body until you touch the floor, and then back up to that start position. And that would be progressed to a pike push up or a dip, either on bars or rings. And then you can progress them all the way through to a very common calisthenics goal, a handstand push-up, which can be done against the wall or freestanding like so. The pull-in versions would be your rows, so like this, or on rings. Chin-ups, which are seen with an underhand grip, like so. Straight body position, ideally touching the chest at the top, and then the pull-up version, which is hands overhand this way, and then you progress those through to something like a muscle up. You can also get movements that combine straight arm and bent arm work, so something like planche push-ups, where you start in a planche position with straight arms, then you come down to a bent arm planche, and then go back up to your straight arm position. We can combine static positions like L-sit, either tuck or straight legs, with movements like shoulder stands, which can be separate movements by themselves, or dynamic skills where you link them together. When it comes to leg training, we normally use the standard movements like squats, deadlifts, and lunges. But in terms of calisthenic skills, you could say a pistol squat would be the most common movement. Now, I need a heel lift without warming up loads, but a pistol squat is seen as coming down to this bottom position and then coming back up there. Then we can look at the handstand. So we have the standard freestanding handstand, which would be most people's goals to start with. So a straight body hold for time. Once we have that, we can go into things like tuck handstands, straddle handstands, and then different entries. So we've got the kick up, which is the standard one. So this. We have the jumps. Now with the jumps, most people are going to start with a tuck jump or a straddle jump and progress to things like pike jumps. But when starting your handstand journey, you'll probably start off with things like crow balances, which are much easier to hold in the middle of the room to start with. So a crow balance is seen like this. A frog stander, which is very similar, but the knees are more down on the elbows like this. Or a forearm stand. Or a headstand. Now, once you've got your static positions for your handstands, a lot of people will want to go into things like handstand push-ups or press handstands. So press handstand is starting in this position and then passing through straddle to a freestanding handstand and back down, or you can pass through tuck or even pike. And for me, that's what's seen as the main calisthenics and handstand movements. There is definitely other ones that spur off from those, so variations or harder progressions. You can go towards stool presses, which starts off in a straddle L-sit position all the way to handstand, or you can go down the pointy end of handstands and go all the way to a one-arm handstand. But most of those movements are going to be more advanced that we're going to be looking at in 2, 3, 4, 5 years time. And if you're a true beginner, we want to really start off with these foundations. The most important thing is picking goals that you like, because they're going to take consistency and dedication and lots of training for many months, if not years. Let me know what your current goals are down in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're after coaching, check out my website, www.paultwyman.com.au, and I'll speak to you in the next one.